Welcome to this Yin Yoga class. Today we'll be working through relaxing, releasing anxiety, helping us to unwind from our day and to rest peacefully this evening. So sitting yourself up tall on something just to get comfortable, so you can allow your spine to sit long, your shoulders and hips to relax. And for this class you might need a couple of blocks, a blanket, a chair and/or a wall. Okay. So let's take a moment now in quiet meditation, just to let go of the stresses and the strains of the day. So taking a breath in through your nose, all the way deep down, with a sigh out through your mouth to shed and let go of your day. Let's take another cleansing breath in. And release. With every exhale out you take today, allow every muscle to soften, allow your body to settle. So drawing your awareness to your seat, noticing if you're sitting comfortably or if you're having to support yourself to sit in this place. So starting to press your sitting bones down into your block or your floor, really starting to tack them down to the earth, and then gliding your mind up your spine, out the top of your head, reaching your crown to the sky. Creating a nice long straight line here. And from this straight line, allow shoulders to melt down away from your ears. Allow arms to be heavy. Starting to rest your hands softly on your legs. Allowing hips to drop and legs to settle into the ground. Noticing if you're holding any tension around your face. So checking around your eyes, your cheeks. Maybe noticing if you're clenching your jaw subconsciously. Gliding down the back of your neck. If it feels nice, you can just move it just a little bit. Just feeling from side to side. Again, letting shoulders drop even further. Beginning to take your attention to your upper back. Feeling into left shoulder, all the way around the top, and then down your shoulder blade. And then focusing in on the right. Again, around top of your shoulder. And then down the back of right shoulder blade. And now feeling that space from your neck, the back of your shoulders, and that space in between. Noticing any sensations that come up. We're observing rather than changing or judging. So just gathering information about our bodies and how they feel right now. So beginning to move down to the middle of your back, Stepping your awareness down deeper and deeper. Gliding down to your lower back. Noticing if there's any tension or pain, tightness that's accumulated. And noticing again here in your hips, whether you're starting to bunch and gather them tightly. With your next breath out, consciously allow them to soften. Letting both legs relax down. Drawing your attention now to the front of your body. Feeling from collarbone to collarbone. Keeping your chest broad, your heart lifted. Moving down to your belly, around the sides of your stomach. Allowing softness to come here. Maybe taking one big breath in. And with your exhale, release again. We'll take some slow, deep breaths that are going to guide us through our practice. So we'll take a slow breath in through the nose, filling up your belly with air for your count of 4, breathing in. And when you're ready to exhale, slowly exhaling through your nose for a count of 4. Feeling your body undulate and move as the breath flows in and out. With every breath in, keeping your body soft, keeping shoulders relaxed, and being a container for your breath. Feeling the stretch come from the inside out. Each rib as it expands. Every exhale, let yourself sink a little deeper. Let's take another 2 breaths together. When you're ready, slowly allowing eyes to open as you draw yourself back into the room. Keeping gaze soft. Okay, and when we're ready, we're going to move into butterfly pose. So drawing the soles of the feet together, allowing the hips to relax out. So if you've something to sit on to lift your hips, that helps us to fold over a little bit deeper without curling into the lower back. And if you have your blocks, sometimes quite nice just to place the blocks underneath the knees for a little bit of support here. It sometimes helps the body to open up a little more when it feels held and put together. So from here, finding your comfortable position, you slide back. when we're ready, we'll take an inhale in, pressing sitting bones down, lengthen your spine out through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, cast your heart forward. And then when you can't go forward anymore, start to draw your chin to your chest and curl yourself down. From here, maybe resting your arms on your legs. You can rest your head on your hands. So something I quite like to do is press my thumbs in between my eyebrows. So this kind of gives a really nice release here as well. So from this position, noticing where tightness hides, and see if you can take your breath to that space. With every exhale, allowing that tightness to dissolve just a little bit more. So when you start to settle into this pose, start to notice the other hidden areas where you're subconsciously holding. So begin to check around your shoulders, your jaw, maybe even around your eyes. Feeling where you are, how you feel in your body. Maybe letting yourself move deeper into this pose. Or maybe backing off just a little bit. So you should feel a nice opening down your back, your inner groin. There shouldn't be any pain in your knees, around your neck or your low back. Taking another breath here, slowly in for 4, feeding it all the way down, and exhaling, softening your muscles, and And when you're ready, taking your hands to the floor and very slowly starting to help yourself move back up to a seat. You can draw the knees back towards each other and have a rock from side to side. It should feel quite nice just to create space around the hips. Okay, so next one. Sliding your props to one side. We could come back to those in a moment. And I'll demo this from the side. So taking a half butterfly. So lengthening your left leg long down the mat, and your right leg you can either draw the sole of the foot into the thigh, or you can internally rotate and take the foot back around so it's by your outer hip. So whatever feels good for you today. Sometimes if you do one thing all the time, you can try the other, or sometimes some bone structures just prefer one position. So here, just going to strengthen and lengthen into the hamstring, so the straight leg, and also create a nice stretch down the back here. So if you have your block handy, or 2 blocks maybe, it's kind of nice to be able to rest your head on something, and these can go as high as you need, okay? So from here, lengthen this leg away and then allow the foot to soften. So allow everything to drop. Press sitting bones into the floor, sit nice and tall. Inhale. And as you exhale, cast your heart forward and then begin to curl in. So finding that position. So allowing this pose to settle. So you might instantly feel strong sensations. So maybe down the back of your left leg in particular. So give it all a moment. And then if your left leg wants to roll in or out, as you start relaxing around your hip, that's okay. Taking another breath here. And as you exhale, start to very slowly move yourself back upright. You can help your left leg bend. And just give it a moment here. It's quite a deep stretch. for the back of this leg. Like if you've been doing the challenge and you're feeling your legs getting a little bit tighter here. Okay, and coming over to the other side. So setting yourself up with right leg nice and long here, foot relaxed, let everything settle. And then whichever variation you took on the other side, maybe your external rotation with the sole to the thigh, or the internal rotation, taking the foot back towards left hip. And then making sure your seat is nice and comfortable, that you can press your sitting bones down. So from here, when we root down from here, we want to be able to pivot from the hip. This is why lifting the hips is really helpful. So this knee can be soft. And the moment that we reach and we can't go any further, chin to chest and curl in. Then we get a nice stretch down the back of the neck and the upper back too. So finding any props you need, starting sort of maybe a little higher than you expect, and then allowing yourself to melt into it. So inhale, sit nice and tall, sitting bones pressed down. Exhale, reach your heart forward. And then draw chin to chest and curl yourself down. Again, take a moment just to notice where you feel this in your body. The body communicates and talks to us through sensation. So maybe there's one or a couple of parts that are speaking quite loudly. So we feed them with breath. We tell the body it's safe when we breathe slow and deep. So maybe closing your eyes and breathing that breath in for 4, seeing if you can lengthen a little. And then exhaling for 4 and melting like a rag doll, just dropping every muscle, every bone. Taking one more breath here. And as you exhale, begin to help yourself move up to a seat. Moving really slowly and helping yourself move out of this shape. Let's take knees and just take a little rock from side to side. Maybe just releasing here. Be feeling a little bit more even now in the backs of your legs. So So as this class is for releasing stress and anxiety, we're doing plenty of forward folds to start with. This helps to calm and to settle us down. So we're taking caterpillar. So maybe sitting up again on your block, or for me personally, for this one, I like the blanket. It's a little lower here. So again, using it to help tip you forward. And so let's start with knees bent. So the idea here, same again, pressing hips down, folding all the way over your belly, over your thighs. And so here, blocks can be handy, just to rest arms on, or if you want to tuck your arms under your thighs, resting your head on your legs, or even resting your head on a block between your thighs. So many different variations. And here, the moment you start to stretch out the legs a little deeper, don't let this compromise and round too much and pull into the lower back. So the more we bend the legs, the sometimes deeper the stretch. So let legs be floppy and soft. Again, sitting bones pressed down, rising the spine and the crown of the head to the sky. Breathing in, get long. Exhale, casting forward, finding that fold. So taking your moment to just explore in this shape. So we're now evenly stretching the backs of the legs, down the back and the neck. So always coming back to your breath. Slow, steady breaths. Noticing if you're holding your head. See if you can soften around your shoulders. Let's take another breath in. And exhale very slowly, starting to roll yourself up. Always using your hands to support you. Maybe bend your knees. Maybe have a little rock to side. Or you can have a little hug in. Just releasing the residue here. Really good. We'll take a moment here to come and lie on the ground in our mini Shavasana, just to feel and to let the spine lengthen across the floor. So coming here just to recalibrate. Taking arms and legs comfortably wide. And now feeling into your body. So feel those sensations. Notice where you're feeling them. Do they have a buzzy feeling, like a vibration? Does the sensation have a temperature? So allowing this to evolve and change. And notice the sensations as you breathe in. How does this feel different? With a slow exhale. Taking another breath here. And as you exhale this time, completely release and drop and feel. And then bending knees to chest. And having a little rock from side to side. And then holding onto your legs, all rolling to one side, we'll make our way back up to a seat. Nice. Okay, so ladies, we're going to make our way into pigeon pose. So from this shape, the best way is to come from a tabletop or a downward dog, but we'll bring the left or the right, so bring the right leg forward here. So bringing the knee in a closed position to the left wrist and the right foot is tucked in. So keeping the back foot tucked for a moment just to keep the integrity in the hip here. If you have your block and you'd like to plop something underneath to keep the balance, the alignment, that's always a good trick. So what we want to feel here is when we come and relax into this and we untuck our back toes, we don't also want to flop over like this. So keeping a nice stretch in this hamstring. Okay. So keep squeezing here. You should really feel this hamstring, hip, all the outside of the left leg. Maybe keeping your block under. And then here, starting to inhale, press your fingers down and just lengthen. So reach forward, your heart forward and up. So now starting to feel a stretch in your right hip flexor, the front of your right hip. So reaching forward, and as you exhale, start to walk your hands forward like you're drawing the mat towards you. So reach, reach, reach. Long spine, coming all the way down to your elbows. And perhaps here bending them and pressing your thumbs to your eyebrows, or you can take a block under your head and rest out here, or if you're comfortable coming all the way forward down, then take that position. So when you are in your comfortable position, you can begin to untuck your back toes. And then start to feel so a few steady breaths just to guide us into this pose. If you find pain in your knees or your ankles, then lifting up a little bit, perhaps drawing the knee closed a little bit more, the foot towards the pelvis. When you've found your edge, just hovering around it, breathing in and out slow and steady. Checking in with shoulders and neck, softening a little more. Taking another breath in here, and then beginning to move out of this sleeping swan. Coming all the way steadily back up. Sliding the block or blanket out of the way. And here just tucking back toes, and we'll slide left knee back here to tabletop. And take a moment if you want to roll into your hips. Going one way and then moving in the other direction. So just feeling here. Maybe they feel quite different one side to the other. Okay. And when you're ready, we'll swap sides. So bring the right knee towards right wrist. Here, keeping the foot very close to the body here, so we keep the knee nice and safe. And then walking your left foot back so you find your comfortable stretch. And if you use something under your hip on the other side, and just popping in on this side. Excellent. Taking fingers to the floor. Let's take a big inhale, reach up. So feel that stretch now. Move here to the front of left hip. And as you exhale, walk your hands forward, drawing your heart towards the ground as you lengthen your spine. Again, taking any variation that feels good. And when you've reached your destination, starting to untuck your back toes. And you can allow yourself to start to settle here. So finding the practice that works for you today. Only going as deep as feels good. Nourishing your body and your mind. Taking another breath here. And then exhale, slowly make your way back up. We can step this knee back. And maybe just take a little rock, a little roll, just to release. Let the blood flush back in. And let that feel good. And then coming back to a seat. So maybe taking your blocks from either side. This is going to get really juicy and relaxing now. So taking your blanket, if you've got your blanket handy, this isn't essential, but it does feel nice just to open your chest a little bit. So folding into a nice little kind of noodle sausage shape. So fairly flat, but with a little bit of a lift here. So we're just going to lay this underneath where the bra strap line is. And here, it's going to just lift the chest a little bit. So it's not a really crazy high lift, it's just a gentle chest opener, just to create a little space here and to help us breathe deep and slow. And then drawing the soles of the feet together, if you like to take your hip opener, we can rest the blocks under the thighs. And then maybe take the arms up overhead. This feels really nice for the chest space, around the armpits. And just to allow us to breathe and to settle. If you don't want the hip opener, you can take your legs long here. And just allow the top of your body, your chest to open as you breathe. So finding what suits you. And then coming into the pose with your mind. So this should feel calming yet liberating. As you feel each point of your body in contact with the earth, let yourself melt around that. There should be no discomfort in your shoulders or your back. And if you're feeling anything in your shoulders, maybe drawing arms down to a cactus or even down to the side of your body. So focusing on breath here. As you inhale, allow the space between your ribs to expand. Your heart, your belly rises. As you exhale, soften and relax. starting to come back to your breath. And when you're ready, slowly hugging knees back towards each other and bringing arms back down. We can roll over to one side. Maybe spending a moment here, just breathing into your back. And then making your way up to a seat. Okay, so, okay, we're coming to the chair or the wall pose. So this is absolutely delicious. Maybe keeping your little blanket bolster with you and grabbing a wall or a chair, just bringing towards the end of your mat. So if you're using a chair, make sure it doesn't slide away from you. So a grippy mat is kind of good. And any padding you might need as well, make sure it's soft on your heels and your feet. So here, obviously using a chair, and we're going to use the blanket underneath the hips this time, so that it's going to lift the hips up, create more space in the lower back, so we can rest out and enjoy this shape. So, sitting on your blanket, allowing legs to either rest on your chair bent, or if you've got your wall, they'll rest up the wall gently. And you can either take your legs wide on the wall, or keep together, or even bend your knees and have your feet on your wall if that feels good. And with your chair, I guess similar things, but you can go not quite so wide with the chair here. So allowing yourself to settle down and finding the right place here with the blanket. So it should feel lifted underneath the pelvis. So it kind of helps you lift and be long in your spine. Helps you feel a bit of a release here. And creating space around shoulders. And with your arms, you can either take down by your sides, cactus, or take overhead again. And this pose is designed just to help us completely unravel. So it's for pure indulgence. It's a lower back release and an inversion. So we're flushing all the blood and the lymph tissue from our feet all the way to the back of the body, up towards the top of the body. So it helps us renew and restore. And this is our final resting pose. So coming into this shape. Noticing if you can drop your legs. And if you can relax your hips. So we'll start to think about coming into our final Shavasana. And you can either stay just as you are in the same position, or if you prefer to lie flat, then removing your legs from the chair or the wall and coming to lie across your mat. So wherever you choose to take your rest, allow head to drop, shoulders relax, and allow your hips to be heavy. As you allow eyes to soften, give yourself full permission to relax. Letting go of your breath. And feeling into your body. It's time to draw yourself back to your breath. Beginning to wiggle your fingers and toes. Maybe roll your wrists and your ankles. Maybe take a big stretch here. Arms reach overhead. You can stretch your legs. And begin to bend your knees to your chest. Give yourself a big hug in. And then rolling over to your favourite side. Just catching yourself as you land. And when you're ready, slowly helping yourself up to a seat. So sitting yourself up nice and tall here. Feeling the sensations moving around your body. Grounding your hips, reaching the crown of your head to the sky. Taking a final breath together, inhaling in, exhale with a sigh, shedding the day, drawing palms together at your heart and bowing your head to your hands. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for this class. I hope you're thoroughly relaxed, feel refreshed and energized for your day ahead tomorrow. Thank you.